everybody, and welcome to today's video where you will be joining my mom and I as we split some firewood. My dad and my brother were working and my sister was doing school, so my mom and I decided that we would split some wood as we urgently need it. It has been pretty cold and chilly and windy, and so we did need the wood. And so if you didn't watch the last video, the wood that we are actually cutting here was given to us by a very kind neighbor who has, because of him, we haven't gone cold this year. He has cut down these trees, these dead trees from his property and has given them to us, but even then we still have to split them. And before that, my dad and my brother would actually split the wood using an axe, but as you can imagine, that's pretty tiring on the back. And just in general, it is like a lot more work. So here you can see the wood that we're going to be splitting, and praise God, we have had this wood splitter for the past 4 or 5 years ish, and we haven't had any issues with it. And of course, first things first, I have to turn it on, and I couldn't remember because I hadn't turned it on in a while. And once I finally remembered, I made sure everything was set up and pulled this right here, and I left everything on the right setting, the right power, strength, and yeah, it was good to go. So first things first, I had to make sure that this little area in the front of the wood splitter is clean. We don't want any wood to start getting compact there. It will start causing issues with the splitting process. So I have to make sure there's not a lot of, wood pieces and bark and stuff going on there. And I decided to start off with a little piece just to kind of show you all how the process is. A piece about this size will yield 4, if it's bigger, maybe 5 pieces of firewood, and it's pretty easy to cut through these most of the time, unless there's some like knots in the trees and such. But you might notice the tin in my back pocket, and that is actually one of the salves that I make that we sell on our website actually. And it is made with, or we have a variety of salves. Some are made with calendula petals, sunflower petals, marigolds, we have lavender, and they all have lots of different uses. If you have dry skin, eczema, if you have sunburn, or just burnt yourself on the stove, they're really good. I've gotten a lot of good reviews on them. We also have lip balms and soaps and teas and just a variety of products. So if you want to check them out, you can go to www.sunfloresfarm.com/market, and yeah, you can try one for yourself. But anyway, back to the video. I decided that I wanted to show you all how this cuts a big piece of wood. And the wood splitter has actually cut even bigger than this, but this is the biggest that I had in the moment. I did have to up the power on the wood splitter just so I could get through, but this is a view of what it looks like from my perspective. As you can see, it pretty, flawlessly just cuts right through that. And yeah, we haven't really had any issues with this wood splitter. It's really strong, really powerful. And although you will see me struggle with this piece of wood that I'm about one of the halves, and the reason is that these trees that died, that our neighbor cut and gave to us, were actually, there was like this infestation of grubs. They're kind of like parasites in the trees, and they are common in this area. No one really knows what they are or where they come from, but as a result, the tree ends up creating a lot of sap, as you can see here. I was kind of trying to show you all how it looks, and it creates these more like dark yellow areas, and those areas tend to solidify because of the sap. It's like glue, and it is harder to get through those pieces. Not impossible. Maybe some pieces are harder, but yeah, in a bit you'll see how I'm able to eventually cut through this piece by flipping it over. There we go. Finally, I was able to get through it, and yeah, I just continued this splitting process. Here you can see some of that solid piece of sap, and these are some more pieces of sap that were on the bark. And sap actually has a lot of good properties, and I've been looking into experimenting with sap in some of our products. And here you can see one of those little grubs, and unfortunately I do have to unalive them, otherwise they will multiply. But here you can see more of that sap, and yeah, that's how that process went. My mom and I filled the bucket with this first load of wood, and while I went to go dump that, my mom continued splitting wood. It's not that hard. It is just easier if there's two people doing it. But you know, one person splitting, the other person catching the pieces. But anyway, I went to go dump these here. We do put them next to the house. We do stack them next to the house, so we can get it easier. But the tractor doesn't reach all the way up to that point, so I did just dump them here. And I wanted to show you all how I change, you know, to reverse, but it does turn off because of my weight. It detects like if I had fallen off the tractor because I'm not heavy enough. So it is a struggle. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed watching this video, and you have a great day. Bye bye.